I never thought I would have to attend my murdered sister's funeral. Mary, I can't forgive myself. I'll find the truth about what happened to us. I swear.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Gaming Channel. My name is AJ Gels. How y'all doing? We're back with Vampyr. And I can tell him what happened to your sister. Didn't you kind of kill her? Basically, as I said last video, this is going to be a talky episode. I'm gonna go.
A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
I'm gonna go around the hospital and talk to a bunch of people. I'm gonna go to Whitechapel and talk to a bunch of people, and I'm going to go and come on, brain. Milton shotgun. Ooh. What was I saying? I'm gonna talk to a bunch of people around Whitechapel. I might even go to the docks and try and talk to some people and fill out that area. $180. Hell yeah. I'll sell this watch. Sell that. Large box of pills. I'll see what these can be broken. What these boxes of pills can be broken down into. Oh wait, no, I didn't just want to buy things from you. I wanted to talk to you.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
Yeah, we're trying.
Why do you have such a mediocre reputation among your colleagues, Milton?
Fuck them. Nobody knows the horrors I've seen since working here. This city was sick long before the epidemic, Dr. Reed.
I know it's a difficult task, but correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not the job you are paid to do?
I've seen babies left to die while their brothers were properly fed. Underage girls and boys sold to all manner of perverts.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, exactly. We lack words. So excuse me if I don't look on the bright side of life.
Fair enough.
Do you know that Nurse Hawkins is thinking of leaving the hospital?
That's not a surprise. We've talked about it already.
Does it not bother you?
Sometimes I think she may be right. We should run away while we can. Question is, where can we go? Where is it safe?
Well, we still need a hint to get that last option there, but we're good for now. She gonna be leaving the hospital?
Jonathan, are you all right?
Words cannot describe the emptiness.
I'm here for you, Jonathan. If you ever need to talk.
Oh, sweet. So we have more stuff to ask her.
How do you live with the guilt?
I can't answer that, Jonathan. But we have to accept our nature. Nothing good can come of fighting who we are.
Have you killed someone you've known?
Jonathan, have you forgotten what I do here? I need to meet the men and women I kill.
Have you ever killed family?
I will not answer that. In time, perhaps.
Tell me, why do you finance this hospital?
I'm lucky to be in a privileged position to help those less fortunate. Kindness takes the edge off the years.
If you'll forgive me, it seems a little hypocritical healing those that you may kill.
Jonathan, we are what we are, a paradox. Dead flesh with a lust for life.
And our Dr. Swansea.
A lot of poetic bullcrap in there, but I get it.
Dr. Swansea is a man firmly rooted in the realities of the modern world. He understands what we're trying to achieve here.
Could I ask you some delicate questions?
Ask, and I will answer if I choose.
You don't live here.
I have a house in London where I reside with my daughter.
A daughter? Is she,
No. Charlotte is a perfectly normal young lady. And if you must know, I adopted. Perhaps you'll meet her someday.
There's so much I want to know. I mean, what? Where? Who?
Slow down, Jonathan. And please, not all questions should be answered.
Please tell me. Are you Lady Ashbury? Is that your real name?
Yes and no. I was born Elizabeth Samantha Mary Englewood. Out of pure vanity, I cannot tell you when I was born.
I'll see you.
That's sweet. I like her.
They know we are overwhelmed by this.
See if we have any other.
Dr. Reed, any.
If we have anything to talk to him that we haven't already talked about. Nope. Looks like we're good.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
At least with him. I know we've talked about everything with Clay. Let's see. The nurse.
Good evening.
Yeah. Yep, again, we're good. Like I said, we've talked with everything with Clay. I know that because I've spoken with him on multiple occasions. Lady Ashbury. Oh, wow, we need a mesmerize level of 20 to get her. Alright, let's start working our way through the hospital.
Good evening, Dr. Strick.
Like I said, this is pretty much what this video is going to be. It's going to be a lot of this and maybe going and doing some side missions that'll pop up here and there. It's also going to be probably pretty long.
Tell me, Thoreau, what's the real cause of your dislike for Dr. Ackroyd?
He refuses to admit that your blood transfusion technique is the only way to save Mr. Fiddick. I'm convinced we must use it.
What Dr. Ackroyd really said is that you lack the skill to perform this operation efficiently. Is there anything you have to say about this?
It's a false conceit. Dr. Ackroyd secretly envies your reputation. His jealousy blinds him. I'm not the real target here.
Okay.
Goodbye.
I guess that's the end of it.
My sweet girl. Reads me like a book. I never could keep anything.
Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Any news about my operation?
Nothing there.
Tell me about your injury, Harvey. Why do you feel so guilty about it?
My wife died because of me. And now I may lose everything because I've been careless enough to hurt myself. What an arsehole.
You can't hold yourself responsible for your injury, Mr. Fiddick, unless you tried to hurt yourself.
Of course I didn't hurt myself. But I can't work until my arm is fixed. My children need to eat, Doctor.
How could your job be responsible for your wife's death?
I was working a double. She went out to bring me a hot meal and got caught in a German bomb raid.
Still, how's that necessarily your fault?
Goodbye.
My sweet girl.
I think we've,
Me like a book.
yeah, pretty much gotten everything with that guy. We talked to Strickland, got everything with him. Let's talk to Ackroyd.
I'm quite busy right now, Dr. Reed.
You're kind of an ass.
Tell me, Waverly, what do you think of Dr. Strickland's enthusiasm for his experimental research?
Strickland is playing with his patients' lives for pride and glory. Now that, sir, is unethical.
Are you thinking about something in particular?
Harvey Fiddick needs delicate surgery. I believe we should stick to the usual procedure, but my young colleague obviously disagrees.
And are you not afraid that your rivalry with Strickland may be blinding you?
Rivalry? I guess you could call it that. But I will never be childish enough to let my personal feelings affect my judgment.
Why do you wish to lead this surgery?
I strongly believe that Mr. Fiddick should not be butchered to test an unproven procedure.
It's a conversation point of view, or it's a conservative point of view. You'll assume the consequences.
Other people may say that's too conservative a point of view.
Conservative? And what are you going to say to Mr. Fiddick if he loses his arm because of the operation? Because that's what's going to happen if the surgery is a failure.
Well, yeah, but isn't what you want to do, won't that also kill him? How do we increase his... I can't think of blood quality. There we go. There's the word. We still don't have all the hints. Granted, we've seen all of the, Okay. So just because we've done all the dialogue doesn't mean we'll have all the hints. Okay. Learning more and more.
I'm quite busy.
Do you need my...
Not at all.
Alright, so he's okay. Let's go in here and talk to this guy.
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reed? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
I've read your son's medical report, Beatrice. It's not the flu or anything life-threatening. What has you so worried?
He was at death's door when he was brought here. I just want him to be better as soon as possible.
He's not out of the woods yet, you know. He might need to stay here longer than expected.
Take care of him then, Dr. Reed. People here only seem to focus on contagious patients. I worry my poor Mortimer will be neglected.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
Okay. So... I don't know what to call that, but...
Do you require medical attention?
I have other concerns right now.
Alright, so she's healthy.
What do you think?
I want to say so she kind of like works like at a finishing school, but I don't think that's technically correct.
Hospital since we arrived, but we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
Okay, let's go personal questions.
Your son wished to die, Beatrice. Why did you hide such crucial information?
Are you not aware suicide is a crime? Mortimer could be thrown in jail. I can't let that happen. I won't.
I understand you fear the legal consequences, Mrs. Goswick. But don't you realize your silence significantly affects your son's case?
All my son needs is help and comprehension. Not judgment and punishment for what he may or may not have done.
Well, yes, but maybe now we can actually help him psychologically and not just physically. So if he tried to off himself... Again, that's important information.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Can I help at all?
No,
Really? Why are you here then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may, sir. I don't mean to be a burden.
Okay, so suffering from anemia. I don't have that medicine, but I will get it to you.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to communicate, sir. Would it help if I gave you some paper and a pen?
Not really.
I see. Then maybe it's not just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of something more hurtful.
Yes, maybe. But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
Your medical report says you're not affected by the Spanish flu. What do you think of that, Mortimer?
Does it make me happy? Not in the slightest. If it was up to me, I would have left this place long ago. I know I don't belong here.
And why do you think you don't belong here?
I know the staff have more important things to do than look after me. There's plenty of patients here who need their attention.
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She seems convinced this is a bad hospital.
My mother just wants the best for me. She won't rest while I'm here. She'd go all the way to hell and back to help me.
That sounds like a good mother.
Is your mother bothering you? As your doctor, I can ask her to leave you alone if you would prefer.
That's tempting, Doctor. But you have no idea what my mother is capable of. She would tie herself to my bed if you asked her to leave.
Pembroke Hospital may look unorthodox, but rest assured you're in good hands here.
It's not me you have to convince, Dr. Reed. It's my mother.
Alright, let's go personal questions.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Goswick.
I don't want to talk, Doctor.
Admit it, Mortimer. Your mother had you hospitalized here because you tried to kill yourself.
Yes, it's true.
All right, then. This is the first time we've really shared information about your case. Shall we call this progress?
Call it what you want, Dr. Reed.
You can trust me. I won't report you to the authorities. My one and only concern is your health.
I guess I should thank you then.
Can I help you in any way, Mr. Goswick?
I wrote a letter for my mother. She was supposed to read it after my death. But I suppose she doesn't have to read it now.
I see. And is this letter still near the place where you tried to take your own life?
Yes. And I don't want anyone reading my last words. I mean, I'm still here. If you bring me back that letter, then perhaps we'll talk.
Alright, well there we go. Some progress. Alright, well we'll finish out talking to everyone here in the hospital. I'm 90% sure we have
Good evening, Miss Howell.
gotten everything from her. Well, at least everything we can.
I'll leave you.
Same with Pippa Hawkins. There you are.
Good evening.
Good evening.
We're good there.
Milton cheats patients out of their money at this hospital, Pippa. Are you his accomplice?
Yes, I am.
Is this your definition of being useful? By abusing the sick and poor?
No. It is my definition of getting out of this useless life once and for all.
Whose idea was it?
What difference does it make? We did it together, and I'm guilty as charged.
Answer my question.
It was my idea first, even though Milton would say it was his, to protect me.
Why do you do it?
Why not? Most of the sick who paid for a bed are already dead, or will be soon. Don't you see the futility of all this?
Cynicism will not save you. Put a price on hope.
You put a price on hope. This goes against everything you swore to uphold as a nurse.
Report me then, Dr. Reed. Report the little nurse and keep on lying about the surgical errors, the wrong dosages and diagnostics that we all covered for the sake of our colleagues.
Goodbye.
I assume either we can go, like, report her to Swansea or not. I probably won't. Because, I don't know where she'll end up, and maybe, I don't know, I'll be able to get a quest from her later on. That's one thing. And the second is, we're already covering up for other wrongdoings here at the hospital, so why stop now? Well, why are we loading in?
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Such a pleasure to see you.
That was weird.
Tell me the truth about your appointment as a medic during the war, Rakesh.
The regiment administration appointed me by mistake. I had to learn the job on the spot, sir. Very hard, sir, but I rose to the challenge.
Do you realize how many soldiers died because of that decision? You should have refused.
Yes, sir. I swear I did, sir. But no one listened. When the first wounded arrived, I had to do what I could.
It is an unbelievable story, Mr. Chidana.
Chidana, there we go. I've been trying to figure out how to pronounce his last name for a while.
To deal with the wounded. I prefer caring for the dead now.
Yeah, and robbing them?
You can't impersonate a doctor. You can't improvise a medical education. People could die at your hands.
You're absolutely right, sir. But as a field surgeon, it was more like being a butcher.
Do you believe you have really helped these people?
My ratings were within the averages of the regiment. I saved lives, Dr. Reed. Does that not say enough about triage and war surgery?
How dare you steal from the dead, Rakesh? Is that what your pawnbrokers is really about?
These people are dead, sir. What they possessed could be useful for the living. And I'm sure they would agree if they could speak.
You should show respect for the dead. What about their loved ones who may treasure these items you sell?
The bodies I watch over are the unwanted and undesired, sir. I would never deprive anyone of their family artifacts.
Goodbye, Mr. Chidana.
Yeah, I don't need to buy anything, and
It's locked.
it's pretty scummy if you ask me. But same thing as usual. It's more of a pain than it's worth to report some of these people. So, meh. All right, we've talked about everything with Thelma. Let's talk to Thomas Elwood.
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
Soldier, do you need assistance?
I'm fine. Just do something for this pain, will you? That's all I'm asking.
Okay, so he's healthy.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Phantom pain.
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Why do you feel responsible for the injury, Thomas? What really happened?
I wasn't disfigured by any German shells. It happened during my leave. It was an accident.
Tell me what really happened then.
I went with a whore in Rouen. Dead drunk I was. The hotel was a shithole. There was a fire that night.
Did you start the fire? Were you trying to avoid going back to the front? That's not uncommon, you know.
No. It's just that I was asleep when the flames reached the room. The girl was long gone. Bitch never woke me up. Left me to burn.
Why lie about it?
Come on. It's one thing to come back disfigured by the Germans, and it's another to get injured in an accident that could have happened to anybody.
Reconstructive surgery has been very successful for some soldiers.
I don't want to wear a bloody mask for the rest of my life. I'd rather stay here and just be forgotten.
And look like a ghoul from Fallout? Oh crap, hint failed. So does that mean I can never get his blood quality to be, I can't think what to call it. That full, complete, kind of like with Dorothy. Interesting. So there are, like,
goodbye for now,
right answers in those conversations.
On every street corner.
Let's talk to Harriet Jones next.
Someone's poached my blanket. Oh, the cold will be my death.
Or maybe we won't talk to Harriet Jones next. Is she on our character menu? Oh, no, she's not. Interesting. Yeah, she's not on this this menu, so okay. So I guess we don't have to deal with her.
Every last one of them.
Oh, that makes sense why the whole blood quality thing is... Nah, never mind. Let's talk to the father.
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, sir, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
You know, I wish I had that accent. It's awesome.
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the dockers' trade union. The Wet Boot Boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Booth Digby.
Well, I mean, we have Clay Cox here, so...
I know. I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks. And I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
Oh, then I guess I shouldn't be calling him the father.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually. William drank so much of my blood in his madness. I feel empty.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
Thank you, sir. I believe all I need is rest. And then I can go back to the people who need me.
So basically, words and advanced form of anemia. So he's not sick, so I can't make him cure him of anything.
I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke. Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
Alright, looks like we've... Yeah.
We'll talk again later.
Said everything we can with him. Talk to him. Check. Actually, let's do it this way. Yes. Or we'll do his mission, and then we'll cure him for the anemia. Check. Talk to him. We'll talk to him some other time, because he's kind of like, we're going to keep going back to him, but we're good for now. Check. Yeah, talk to both of them. So all that's left is Newton and Oswald Thatcher. And I'd heal Thatcher, except I don't have a cure for, I can't think what to call it. I don't have a cure for, I don't have a cure for a migraine. I don't know that, I don't want to say spell or potion. I don't know that crafting recipe, whatever you want to call it.
It's long.
Ooh, interesting.
There's nobody here. Sometimes you act like a real jerk, you know that?
Come on, Ozzy, don't be like that.
What, like someone who felt betrayed by the man he loves? Did you try to find me? Rescue me?
You know, it's not like that. I wanted to. I was so afraid to leave the hospital, not to be seen with you.
We survived this shit together. That's all that matters. I know you did your best.
Oh, wow, that's okay. Didn't see that one coming.
Fuck the wall, right? And fuck them all.
Well, I mean, I figured that's what was going on between them. I didn't expect that scene to happen. Yeah, I know. I was just kind of spying on you at a very personal moment. Let's have a conversation.
Hello again, Mr. Thatcher. Do you feel any better now?
Yes, this neighborhood may stink of dog shit and reek of piss, but to me it smells like the purest mountain air.
Huh.
Mr. Thatcher, do you have a job?
No. Since I came back from the war, I spent most of my time and energy just trying to forget.
I understand what you mean. I was a soldier too.
No. Nobody can truly understand what I've gone through.
Why were you locked in that sewer? What happened?
I went by the canal after an argument with a friend. Got chased by these fucking wankers and had to barricade myself in, despite my claustrophobia.
Why did you run? What was the reason for your argument?
Newton wanted me to go to a hospital, but I can't stand being closed in. It makes me feel like I'm suffocating.
Tell me about your claustrophobia. Has anyone given you an official diagnosis?
That's what the bloody doctors said. But I don't want to go to a hospital to get checked again. I'll deal with it my own way.
Why were you locked in that sewer? Oswald, why did you not go to the Pembroke Hospital to seek medical help?
I don't trust doctors. All they care about was their careers and processes. I won't be locked in any room again, by anyone.
Your fear of being trapped is not going to go away by itself. You need professional help.
I've seen enough butchers in white coats to last a lifetime. Hospitals reek of chemicals and death. What I need is fresh air.
So is he a POW?
Do you want to talk about why you have this fear of being enclosed, Mr. Thatcher?
No, I really don't.
An irrational fear like yours is usually rooted in a specific event. Perhaps it would help to talk about it.
Well, Doctor, take a guess then, if you're so interested in my case.
When I rescued you, you expressed joy at seeing the sky again. So I'm inclined to believe you were trapped or buried somehow. Maybe during a shelling.
Jeez, you're good, Doc. You're really good.
Go on, please. Tell me more about it.
Newton and I were trapped in a circulation tunnel after an artillery attack. We were buried alive for several days without ever knowing if we'd be found.
Psst, there we go.
Tell me about what happened when you were buried in that tunnel with Newton.
It was more than dark. It was black as pitch. Hours seemed like days, and days like months. The terror, the shameful thoughts. Lord have mercy.
What you endured was terrifying. It would have completely destroyed weaker men.
It did not destroy Newton.
Shameful thoughts. Tell me about them.
At some point, I don't remember which day, when I thought we'd never be rescued, that this would be our end, I thought about...
Say it, Mr. Thatcher. If you ever want to heal, you have to say it.
I thought about what I could do to survive, just for a few more days. I thought about killing Newton. Killing and eating him. The man I fucking love.
Tell me about your true feelings for Newton.
I love him. I'm not ashamed to say it. He's the best thing that ever happened to me. I can't imagine life without him.
Why should you be ashamed?
I'm not, I said. But Newton sees it differently.
I admire your honesty. It takes courage to stand up to society. The world needs people like you to create change.
Courage is what we needed in the trenches, looking death in the face every day. I speak plain. I speak my mind.
Have you always been this straightforward?
All I know is, before you saved me by the sewer, my only regret was I wouldn't be able to hold or kiss Newton again. I love him, that's all.
Goodbye, Mr. Thatcher.
Alright, so we still need that cure for headaches. Figure that out. Where is Newton?
Hello again, Mr. Blight. I'm happy to see Mr. Thatcher is safe, for now.
I'm eternally grateful, Doctor. We were total strangers and you helped us anyway. Can't thank you enough, sir.
Why do you stay here now that Mr. Thatcher's back?
It's complicated. Since the war, Oswald's been really nervous with the idea of entering any hospital. And me, I've got my own issues.
Can you speak about them?
Rats, sir. Even seeing one, they turn me. Just want to run. It's that fear that stopped me from going after Oswald when he left.
Okay, he's healthy, so.
What can you tell me about the war, Mr. Blight? If you want to speak about it, of course.
War was... well, you know, sir. The stench of death everywhere. Your mates lying bleeding in the mud. Just praying to make it through and get home. Bloody nightmare.
Did you know Oswald Thatcher before the war?
No. We met in the battlefield. I think we were in the same boat to France. We've stuck together ever since.
I fought in France, too. I served as a field surgeon, but it was not uncommon to repel an assault, especially at night.
Yeah. The first time I was wounded, I had to protect the infirmary from hostiles. Twice.
You are always welcome at the Pembroke Hospital. As a former officer, I'll be honored to welcome a fellow veteran.
I'm not giving up on bringing Oswald back to the hospital. I just need to convince him that he needs some help.
Perhaps he needs to reach that decision by himself.
Could you speak to him? He doesn't usually listen to doctors, but perhaps because you've been through it, you can talk him round.
I think we sort of did that.
How do you feel about Oswald Thatcher? You are more than friends, aren't you?
I love him. I love Oswald. We knew we wouldn't survive the war without each other. But I am terrified, Doctor.
What frightens you so much?
What if people find out? Oswald says I'm ashamed, but it ain't that. It's more, well, you know, I never thought I'd love a man.
Yeah.
Enjoy your love. And enjoy life as long as you can, Mr. Blight. Don't let anyone tell you who you should love or how you should love them.
I appreciate your kind words, sir. But it ain't that easy. It's all so new to me.
You and Oswald were buried alive during the war. Tell me about it.
Yeah. It was last summer. A shell hit our trench and we were buried for a week.
How did you survive for a week?
Luckily for us, there were
Excuse me.
rations and water in the tunnel. It was an outpost, see. Since then, Oswald's not keen on being inside for too long.
Oswald seemed far more traumatized than you by the event.
It wasn't the first time it happened to me. Surviving it again gave me strength. You believe that?
Yeah, I believe that.
What caused your phobia of rats, Newton?
It happened last year following an artillery attack. I was trapped for 2 days in a hole under 2 dead soldiers. And there were rats.
Go on.
They started eating me as soon as I dozed. Gnawing at my ears, my fingers, lips. I couldn't move. Couldn't call for help.
I see.
No, you don't. You have no idea what it is to wake up buried under bodies. Fucking vermin eating your flesh. Oswald. He found me and saved me.
Goodbye.
All right. Well, I think we've talked to everybody around here. Let's do some side missions. Let's burn after reading. Let's go find this guy's suicide note. So, okay, yeah, it's up and around. As I said earlier, I mean, this is gonna be a fairly lengthy video. So hope you all have a beverage. You've been to the bathroom recently. Ah, finally! I've been waiting to get into here. My dear mother, when you find this letter, I'll be gone. I want you to know that I don't leave because of you. I leave this world because of the crushing weight that existence puts upon me. These times are too much for me. Sometimes I feel like Baudelaire. I don't know. Fucking know. Verses have been written as an echo from my own heart, and I quote, "When the low, heavy sky weighs like a lid upon the spirit, aching for the light, and all the wide horizon's line is hid by a black day sadder than any night. It's as beautiful as it is painful, mother. I can't suffer it anymore. I don't want you to try and convince me, and it would only delay the inevitable, for I would do it again if any chance you managed to save me once. Farewell, your son, Mortimer."
In this letter, Mortimer Goswick does nothing to hide his desire to die. I could give it to his mother, but doing so would betray his trust.
Okay, we're good on everything out of our stash. Don't need to go there and have a fight with anybody. But we'll take those shillings. This one. Okay. Vampires create their foul progeny with blood. We all know that. Some of us witness the process even. But what is really going on there is the only way for a vampire to breed. Let's review what we know so far. When willing to create a progeny, a vampire will not bite, but give its blood to drink. Most of the victims die when bitten, but some of them survive and turn into leeches themselves. This only happens when they have assimilated the vampire blood one way or another. It is not the predator's bite, but it's blood that infects the victims, who will turn if he or she survives the suffering of the metamorphosis. It also seems that a vampire can breed by having intercourse, the vampire mates, to produce a child. Sexual intercourse between vampire and human rarely produce any birth, but some of them tried anyways. A vampire gestation is only a few weeks short, and the pain is almost unbearable for the mother. If she is mortal, she will not survive the birth. The vampire comes out of the womb tearing apart her entrails. If the mother is a blood drinker, it will probably survive and regenerate. The newborn vampire will quickly grow and turn into an adult vampire in only a few months. From The Adversary by Kendall Stone, founder of the Guard of Prywin. Gross.
It's locked.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can't really... There's no really, like, kind of clear moral choice to... Oh, wait. Before we go in there, I want to check the... Okay, so we really have two sick people. We have anemia and a headache. Well, I don't have the cure for a headache. Yeah, I can't... I don't know which to... I don't know what's the proper answer. I mean, give the kid his letter or... give to his mom. I mean, I can't think what good giving the letter to his mom's gonna do for him. And like I said, like he said, it'll oh shit, it'll the kid'll trust me if we give him the letter, and then probably we'll be able to administer more healing to him, or make him not die. That is the most ineloquent way of saying that. Jesus. I'm sorry, guys. I just cannot speak right now. Not like I can speak most of the times, but just, ugh. It's not, words are not coming to me. Open that. Where are these guys? Beep beep be doo. It's not that way. It should be this way. Over here. And there. And through that door.
Falling apart. But in the circumstances, I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Uh-oh. Do we interrupt something?
Be sure we're making a difference.
I don't know why he keeps doing this.
My sweet girl. Breeds me like
Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
I've read your letter, Mortimer. You wrote about an unbearable feeling of despair while the world crumbles around you. Tell me more about it.
There's nothing more to say, really. It's hurtful, it's unbearable, and I don't ask anyone to understand what I feel.
Despair is a deadly poison I've tasted myself, sir. We're only tempted to drink it because we're terrified by the uncertainty of the next minute.
I know that perfectly, Doctor, for I waited for so long, hoping that the next minute would be less unbearable.
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may, sir. I don't mean to be a burden.
You are not a burden, sir. Healing you is my responsibility.
And you have my gratitude for that.
There we go. He's recovering now.
I have retrieved your letter, Mr. Goswick. I can assure you that nobody read it but me.
Thank you. This is for you, then. For your help. And for your silence.
I think you should talk to your mother. It would be good for both of you.
Thank you, Dr. Reed. I'll think about it. Now, please, let me be.
Let's ask him one more time about his throat.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful, I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
How painful is your throat?
God damn it.
So painful, I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
Sorry.
I'll let you get some rest, then.
There we go.
Don't waste your time with me.
The hell does that sound? Alright, he's recovering now. Let's go help the widow in distress. She's at back of the words, man. She's back at the cemetery. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, and I want to go, but I don't want to activate the main quest, so we're going to have to go the long way around. I guess that's fine, because then we'll talk to some of the other people that are remaining in the citizen menu. So it's okay. It's only 2 guys. I know exactly where they are. Just take one more look at this one, just to see. Yeah, I don't have anything for a migraine, nothing for a migraine, and I can cure that. I just have to wait for him to leave his little building. Interesting. There's nobody around here. If I remember correctly, those 2 guys are down here. There they are.
Please, I don't have your money. Come on, Barrett, you know the game. You pay for peace of mind.
Excuse me, sir. I have a few questions for you.
Another journalist? I didn't answer the first one, so piss off.
I'm not a journalist, I'm a doctor.
A doctor, you say? It's quite a rare breed in this part of town.
Really? But still, here I am. Dr. Jonathan Reed, at your service.
I'm Joe Peterson to some, but Colossus Joe to most. And I don't remember asking for your service, sir.
Can I offer you my medical expertise, Mr. Peterson?
The name is Colossus Joe. I don't get sick.
So I take that as a no.
Have you recent news of Nurse Crane and her dispensary?
She's doing good work. I saw her yesterday and told her she could call on me if she ever felt threatened. Do you know what I mean?
Completely understand, my friend.
May I ask what you do around here?
I do whatever I want, and sometimes even more. Now sod off.
According to you, physicians are scarce in this part of town. Why is that?
Not familiar with this neighborhood, are you? I guess your fancy colleagues are too afraid of being stabbed in the back.
This part of town does have quite a reputation. Would you say it's justified?
Totally. Look at me, for instance. I always look my opponent in the eye before knocking him out.
I guess there's some honor in that.
Harry doesn't seem happy living in Whitechapel. Why did you make him come here?
I've always put my son's interests above everything else, whatever he may think. Our house is small but affordable. The walls are thin, but the door is solid.
You really love your son, don't you, Mr. Peterson?
He's my pride and joy. Even if he hates me for the choices I make and pushes me buttons more than he should.
Since the criminal nature of your job means you could be arrested, are you not afraid of what would happen to your boy if you were?
No one will ever take my son away from me. If that ever occurred, I'd hunt the bastard down and rip off his head with my bare hands.
Do you have any regrets?
Only one. Not to have my beloved wife by my side. She died when Harry was little. My sweet Jane. She gave the boy confidence.
Alright, well, looks like that's all we can get out of this guy.
Cheap price, good quality. Welcome, sir. Please, take a browse of my wares.
I am Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
Doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett Lewis. Usually I don't have time to waste with talk, but at this hour of the night I can hardly refuse.
Do you need help, sir?
I only need you to purchase something from my shop, sir.
So he's healthy.
Do you have any news of Nurse Crane and her dispensary?
I guess what she does for people makes it all right in the end.
How is business around here?
Business? I have no business. Between this racket, theft, and customers getting scared, I'm losing money every day.
I see. Sounds like you blame someone in particular for your situation.
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time harassing merchants. But with me, he's trying to put me out of business once and for all.
As a merchant, you see Whitechapel every day. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary recently?
Well, you mean besides the epidemic, the war, and all the usual crap? As long as I can remember, this part of town has been a bottomless pit, and no sign of the bottom yet.
Violence is increasing in the borough.
Yeah. A few nights ago, some blokes jumped me. Came out of one of the condemned workshops. Fever, madness, something like that.
Where did this happen? Why did you go there?
In the closed workshops nearby. I worked there as an apprentice in better days. Now I only go to find trinkets or tools. Too bad I was mugged, though. There was good money in that little box of loot I lost.
Ooh, investigation.
No, but that's only because I ran like hell. Those men were raving lunatics, I tell you. Not even able to speak anymore, just screaming.
Can't ask him personal questions.
Right then. Show me what...
See what he's got. Ba-ba. So I'll take both of those. I'll take all of your glass vials. Take all of those. All of those. And that'll be it for now. Why'd I open this menu? See if that thing we unlocked, that hint about him, will give us... Oh, there it is.
How did you become the local bully everyone is afraid of, Joe?
There's no pride in roughing up poor bastards. But this is the only job I've found. And it pays well, too.
A job? So you're racketeering for someone else?
I got enlisted by the Wet Boot Boys, a gang from the docks. I'm their muscle for their dirty work.
Yeah, survival, natural law.
At any cost, even at the expense of others. Perhaps that's just the law of nature.
I don't care what you think, sir. I do what I have to do for my own reasons, and that's that.
I'm not sure Mr. Lewis would agree with your by all means necessary philosophy, sir.
Oh, do you really think he's the poor victim here? Barrett can be as sneaky as anyone. Long ago, I even called the bastard my best friend.
Goodbye, Mr.
Looks like we learned something about these guys. Let's kind of... Are we just like playing a game of telephone, like back and forth?
You never... What do you know of Harry Peterson? The boy seems so fragile. Not like his father at all.
Harry's a good boy, but he spends most of his time complaining. He's had it tough, all right, but he needs to grow a pair.
What troubles him exactly?
Well, despite being his father's son, almost everything, I think. He never wanted to come to Whitechapel in the first place. Hates this place more than most of us.
Joe Peterson. He's the villain here, isn't he? But you seem to know each other.
I've known Joe for years. I saw him box once or twice. He was a friend then. But these days, he's just another thug.
What can you tell me about Mr. Peterson? Besides his behavior toward you, obviously.
Colossus Joe was a decent boxer, good one even. But after his wife passed away, he found every excuse to stop training. Just wanted to pick fights with everyone.
Without making excuses for him, it's safe to say that despair can poison even the sanest mind.
We've all had some rough times, ain't we? But most of us don't use our fists to see us through.
I can understand both sides of that.
To this thug.
Nobody would be fool enough to stand against a wet boot boy.
Goodbye for now.
There we go. Alright. Alright, now to the cemetery.
Something going on in this district.
Alright, let's see here. I'm seeing a gunner. A bunch of these other guys, but I'm not seeing any, I'm not seeing the dude with the big... Can't think what to call it.
Christ! He's dead! He's too fucking fast! Don't like that, do ya? He's dead! Get a taste of this! It's a leech! That's good and smart! Over there! There's one of them!
Oh, I killed him. check something. Yeah, I'm using the common steak. I don't know why I'm using that. I want to use the, Oh, didn't I? Huh, okay. Thought I upgraded the pre-win steak by now. Next hideout we see, which I think is actually up by the... Yeah, it's by the cemetery. Use pre-win steak, and I still need tiny common handle parts. I need one more. Alright, let's find this lady.
My mother would die if she were to see me in this state. I must wait.
Okay, so I can't go in there until I continue on with the main quest. Well then, let's just go retrieve Barrett Lewis's box, because that's about all we really can do then. Because I'm not starting more main mission stuff in this video. I think it's back over this way. Oh, hello there. Didn't even see that. That one behind me just like popped. What the hell? No one noticed these guys just kind of like pop in out of nowhere. Okay then. Took them out. It's not that way. It's over here. Okay. Okay. I see how to get there. Out, down, around. Back this way.
Want some of this? I'll put it in you!
And down they go. Oh boy, let's fight this thing. see, I'm trying to find this. Apparently there's something that... No, I can't axe my way through there. So it's, I think, in this area. I just had that thing so over leveled. Okay, so it should be in here.
This could be the box Lewis thought he lost. Huh. There's a letter inside.
Okay. Alright, Barrett, there's no easy way to say it, so I'm going to be blunt. We can't keep on like this. At least I can't keep on like this. If Joe ever finds out about us, about his wife and his best friend, it will crush him, and then he will kill you. We had some good times together, but let's face it, I'm never going to be your Jane Lewis. You know it, and I know it too. So I'm ending this right here and right now. If you agree with my decision, I'm sure we'll find a way to be happy again, you, Joe, and me in time. And then the most important part of our story will have been preserved. Until that day, I wish you'd forgive me. Goodbye for now, Jane Peterson. All right.
A love letter from Joe Peterson's wife, addressed to Barrett Lewis. Who should I give it to, I wonder?
I love how he was kind of going, ooh, who should I give this note to? Obviously, I'm not going to give it to Joe. He'd murder the other guy. And I mean, if anybody was like me and thinking, I have a very strong feeling that the kid, that Peterson's kid is actually Barrett's. That's my guess. And I kind of had a feeling this was going on, but...
I found this box in an abandoned building nearby. I believe it belongs to you.
Let's have a look. Yeah, this is mine. So, you faced those loons that roam around there. Extraordinary.
I suppose I was lucky.
Luck is a commodity round here. Yours should be properly rewarded.
About this package, it's not just tools and trinkets, is it?
I want to be rude or anything after your kind gesture, but it's none of your business.
Barrett, you had an affair with Joe's wife, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. She's the only woman I loved. My first regret is that she stayed with Joe after Harry was born. The second is I never shed a tear when she died.
Did you ever try talking to Joe?
Never. But I suspected he knew everything, even without knowing it. And he decided to make me pay in his own way.
Do you mean you're Harry's father?
No one will ever know for sure.
Swish.
And it's better that way. And I don't believe I'd have been all that bad as a dad.
Just saying, I freaking called that one.
I should never have taken
You again?
Goodbye.
All right, so we don't have the option to say, "Hey, your kid might be someone else's." All right, guys. Well, really, not much else we can do in this one, unless I want to go and explore the docks and all that. But I won't put you through that. We'll do that in another video like this. I'll probably do one of these videos every so often. Either way, we'll go attend the sister's funeral in the next one. But until then, always remember, you can always get a hold of me or follow anything that I do over on Facebook, Twitter, the website, minds.com. Links to all that stuff is in the description below. Like, comment, you're not already. Please subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for more next time. Until then, my name is AJ Gels. This is the Vampyr Gaming Channel. I'm out.